The Cowboys Gamble, Part 8 of 8, Jerry's World. Yesterday we left Dallas in the wreckage of the cocaine Cowboys. The dynasty had drowned in indulgence, headlines turned to scandals, and America's team became America's cautionary tale. But ego always has one more card to play. One more illusion to sell. Because after the trophies fade, after the stars leave, after the scandals die down, the ego whispers, build something permanent. Enter Jerry's world. AT&T Stadium wasn't just a football field. It was a monument. A palace of glass and steel, bigger than imagination, louder than reason, brighter than memory. The retractable roof stretched like heaven's doors. The video board was so massive it became its own spectacle. Luxury boxes rose like thrones. Every brick, every beam, every luxury suite was a declaration, this will last. And yet, metaphysically we know, nothing built on ego lasts. That's the paradox. The same emptiness that haunted the cocaine binges now echoed in the billion-dollar cathedral. Because the ego cannot create permanence. It can only simulate it. And yet, here's the twist that makes Jerry's world my favorite part of the parable. For all the billions, all the bravado, all the spectacle, the real gift of Jerry's world wasn't the building. It was the reconciliation. Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, the two men who built the dynasty and tore it down with pride, finally came together. Years of Cold War. Years of public silence. Years of punishing each other with absence. And then at last, they let it go. They embraced. They forgave. They remembered what really mattered. And in that moment, Jerry's world, the ultimate ego project, became a sanctuary of spirit. Because no amount of trophies, no number of rings, no billion-dollar screens could heal the wound between those men. Only forgiveness could. And when they dropped their grievances, the weight lifted. Decades of punishment dissolved in an instant. That's the miracle. That's why this part sings louder than all the others. Because it reminds us that forgiveness rewrites the past. Not by changing events, but by changing perception. What was once bitterness becomes blessing. What was once a feud becomes fraternity. And what was once Jerry's world became God's world, because forgiveness entered the room. Think about it. The Holy Spirit's scoreboard is not wins and losses. It's grievances released. It's love remembered. That is the true Super Bowl. And Jerry and Jimmy won it, right there, without a snap, without a play, without a clock. The Cowboys Gamble, seen from start to finish, teaches one thing over and over. The ego cannot sustain. Dynasties collapse. Fame fades. Indulgence devours. Spectacle turns to shadow. But forgiveness is eternal. It is the only play that wins the game that matters. So yes, Jerry's world still stands, glittering and loud, a marvel of engineering and ego. But what matters more is the embrace inside it. The proof that grievances never serve and love never fails. That's why this ending is so powerful. Because it's not about football. It's about the mind that remembers its source. The Cowboys gave us a dynasty, a collapse, a scandal, a circus, and finally a miracle. And that's the true parable. Not that they won, not that they lost, but that in the end, love won. This has been Part 8 of 8, The Cowboys Gamble, a story of pride, indulgence, spectacle, and finally forgiveness. And if Jerry and Jimmy can drop decades of grievances, so can we. Because love is never gone. It only waits to be remembered. And once it's remembered, the game is over, because the victory is already won.